Hey, you are going to be watching a video of how we are going to solve for volume of composite or combined figures. So those are two different 3D figures put together, but we still need to know how to find the volume of them all together. Okay, so we're going to go through some strategies for these two problems. Then you're going to do some of these practice problems on your own. We'll go over them later this week. Okay? All right. So when we look at a composite figure, it's very important that we identify the figures and write the formulas. Okay, so all of your formulas are in your packet, so you may have to go back and look for them. Again, we're not going to be focusing on pyramids at all, so just the figures that we have been working with. Okay, so if we look at this first figure here, it looks like I have two different figures. One of them, call that figure A, this one on top, is a triangular prism. If I look back in my notes, my formula for the volume of a triangular prism is going to be the area of the base times the height. So it's 1/2 of the base of my triangle times the height of my triangle times the height of the whole prism. Okay, so let's look at that piecewise, okay? So it's equal to 1/2 times, and let's look at the base of my triangle. It looks like the base is labeled here as 12 feet. Times 12 feet. The height of my triangular prism is right here. That's 9 feet. Times 9 feet. And then the height of my entire prism is going to run this way right here. And I can look down at the bottom of my rectangular prism down here and see this is 4 feet. Okay, so let's go ahead and multiply that together in our calculators. I'll give you a second to do that. So in my calculator, I'm putting 12 times 9 times 4. And then I'm going to take half of that, so I'm going to divide it by 2. And I get 216 feet cubed. All right, so we've gotten our first figure, not too bad. Our second figure is at the bottom, and that is going to be a rectangular prism. And if I look back at my notes, I know the formula for that is the volume equals the base times the height times the width. Okay, so we've got some different measurements for our rectangular prism. And I can see that my base is 16 here, right across the front. So 16 feet times my width here, looks like it's 4 feet, times my height, which is 6 feet. Okay, so why don't we multiply that in our calculators together? 16 times 4 times 6 equals 384 feet cubed. So now I have two different volumes, 216 and 384. Well, I need to find the entire figure all together So I add those together. So 216 feet cubed plus 384 feet cubed that is a nice even 600 feet cubed. Not too shabby, right? We're just putting everything together. All right, let's look at our next one, okay? So if I look at this, I see definitely a cylinder, and I see two hemispheres. Okay, so the top and the bottom are two hemispheres. I want you to remember that a hemisphere equals 1/2 a sphere. So two hemispheres equals a full sphere. So we can consider that one sphere. Why don't we look at the sphere first? I realize we just learned this formula. The volume is equal to 4/3 times pi times the radius cubed. Okay, so yesterday we practiced by writing this out fractionally. And we did the radius as whatever the radius was, 3 times multiplied. So I am going to do 4 times, and it's asking us to use 3.14 here. So we're going to use 3.14. And it's nice that the radius is up here for us. We don't have to figure it out. Times 6 times 6 times 6. And after we multiply all of that, we divide by 3. Okay, so let's put that in our calculator. 4 times 3.14 times 6 times 6 times 6 equals, you should get 2,712.96, and we're going to divide that by 3. Divided by 3 is 904.32 meters cubed. Okay, great. So our next shape is a round tube in the middle that's connecting those two hemispheres, and that is a cylinder. Remember, the volume of a cylinder is going to be the area of the base, which is a circle, times the height of the cylinder. Okay, so the area of the base is going to be pi times r squared, and we're going to multiply that by the height. So let's look at some of our values here. Remember, we're using 3.14 for pi. The radius is 6. So you can write this as 6 squared or 6 times 6. And the height of the cylinder, how tall it is 11. No division this time, which is nice. Well, let's go ahead and get that in our calculator. 3.14 times 6 times 6 times 11 is going to give me 1,243 and 44 hundredths meters cubed. Okay, so again, the combined volumes, we add them together. 904 32 hundredths plus 1,243 and 44 hundredths. Let's go ahead and put that in our calculator. That is giving me 2,147 and 76 hundredths meters cubed. Okay, so I'm not going to have you do all the practice on the next 2 pages, but I would like you to try 1 and 2. And we will go over these when we meet again, which is probably tomorrow. Okay, please focus most of your time on your animal research project. But do try 1 and 2. I'm going to be checking those in tomorrow.